Hello, Sean here from Giant Bubbles. Today I want to give you a little bit of a run through and a demo about how to get the most out of your Giant Bubble kit. So you can see here we've got a 5 litre of premix and we've got a 1 litre of premix. So I'm going to be doing a demo with the 1 litre here. If you do have a concentrate form, please follow the instructions on your bottle in order to mix it with the right amount of water so as that you end up with the same as what we are using here. So what I'm going to do is pour some of the bubble solution into here. I'm going to pour a very generous amount in so as that there's plenty of liquid to dip the wands into and we don't have to fish them around in there and try and soak up any juice. So you may have some sediment in the bottom of your bottle. That is absolutely fine and it does not need to be mixed. So when we're pouring here into our container, we want to try and do it in a way that doesn't create any bubbles or foam. Foam and bubbles on the surface of your juice can actually cause the bubbles not to form quite so well. And so in the case that there is excessive foam on top of the bubble juice here, it is worth getting a piece of paper, a leaf, or some plastic to remove that foam. So we've got a fair amount of solution in there and we wouldn't want to put much less in there, otherwise it might not be able to absorb so well into the wand and form such great bubbles. Now we've got a fresh bubble wand here which we're going to unwrap. Today it is mildly breezy. We've got a bit of shelter here from the trees and it's a little bit overcast. Now the ideal conditions for blowing giant bubbles are actually extremely humid and not too hot. So essentially a morning just after it's rained or a very dewy morning is the perfect time for blowing giant bubbles. Also noting that wind is not favourable for giant bubbles. So on a day like today we can expect to have some okay results. We're not going to be able to form the hugest of giant bubbles. However, on a kid's wand here we should have absolutely no trouble forming some fantastic bubbles. So let's give it a go. So on a new one like this, it may take a second to actually absorb into the rope. We're just going to dip it in here and we're going to allow it to start absorbing in. It takes a few seconds to really get into all the rope and we might need to move it around a little bit, but we want to be gentle with it. We don't want to sort of tangle it up and move it around like I'm doing now. It's important just to keep it still. So it's now absorbed, so I'm going to lift it up gently, taking note that we want to keep the sticks together as we are lifting up the wand. We can then slowly and gently take the sticks apart and with a bit of luck we'll have a large film across there. Now we can then slowly move the wand backwards to form a bubble. Now I'm just going to attempt that here in front of you and we can form a bubble. So the important thing to note when you're trying to form a bubble is not to move your wand too fast. Now you can see that that's just popped there and that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to stand up here and give this a really good go for you. So again, we're going to dip our wand in nice and slowly and gently, pull it out nice and slowly and gently without any mixing, letting it drip for a few seconds and then open our wand slowly and move back and then close our wand again to form a bubble. Now again, open our wand gently, move and close. So on a windy day or if you've got lots of room, you can actually move back a long way. Let's just attempt that here. We're going to do a big walk back up the hill here to form a bit longer of a chain of bubbles. And we'll try that again and we can close. So this may look much easier than it actually is. Some people have the knack of this right from the start, while others get absolutely frustrated because they cannot form a bubble. The really key thing is just to take it slowly, to do it gently, and to, as much as you can, just allow the bubble to form itself with the wind, not to wave it around too much. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate what not to do. So, we definitely don't want to put our wand into our bubble solution and slurry it around like this, forming lots of foam, because we can end up with a badly tangled wand. In this case, we don't. We also don't want to just whip our wand open, because usually it will pop. And then we also don't just want to go whoosh, whoosh, because it will usually pop too. Now, this is not necessary in all situations, but this can be really helpful. So just take it slowly. You want to dip in slowly, pull your wands up and open them, moving gently. In a windy day, your bubbles will just form absolutely naturally. So hopefully this has been helpful to you in creating your own giant bubbles. If you do have extreme trouble in actually forming some decent bubbles like you can see here in front of me, and you have followed all of these instructions, do get in contact with us. Thanks very much and have a fantastic day.